Grazing stubbles after harvest provides a valuable feed resource and allows pastures to be spelled during summer, forming the basis of mixed farming systems in southern New South Wales. However, stubble is also essential in order to protect soil from raindrop impact damage, which breaks up soil surface aggregates and reduces soil water infiltration rates, increasing the likelihood of surface runoff and water erosion. A minimum of 70% ground cover is needed to prevent this from happening. This level of stubble cover is also required to protect soil from wind erosion. What is the feed value of stubble? Most mixed farms graze sheep on stubble and grain residues left in cropping paddocks immediately after harvest. There is considerable feed value in the grain that has been blown out the back of the header and the leaf material, but standing straw, which comprises the bulk of the residue, is of little value, except in very dry years. Sheep will quickly use this feed resource, eating around 1 kilo a day. Farmers have traditionally used livestock to clean up weeds in cropping paddocks, but this is mostly ineffective. Grazing does not completely kill weeds, and they still transpire water and tie up nitrogen. Weeds in stubble paddocks should be sprayed before stock are allowed to graze them, and all withholding periods observed. Spray grazing can be a cost-effective way of controlling some species of summer weed, for example flaxleaf, fleabane and melons. Grazing to reduce stubble. Livestock will eat some of the stubble, but in the process trample a large proportion, putting residues in contact with soil. This has advantages, especially in the higher yielding paddocks where residue levels need to be reduced before sowing the next crop in autumn. Managing stubble is a compromise between protecting the soil surface with adequate ground cover and not having too much stubble at sowing time, where it can cause machinery blockages and problems with emergence. There are several methods used to reduce stubble either alone or in addition to grazing, including mulching, baling or burning. Soil compaction. Research on the effect of grazing shows that while sheep do compact the soil, it is only in the top few centimetres. This can be overcome by natural shrinkage and swelling of soils by wetting and drying, and by disturbance at sowing with knife points. After harvest, soils are usually dry and compaction is minimal. A major concern of growers is that soils will dust up if livestock are left on paddocks too long. However, the latest research shows any reduced water infiltration and yield effects from grazing are mainly due to removal of cover, not compaction or physical damage by sheep. Increased nutrient cycling with grazing. Livestock grazing stubbles will redistribute nutrients across the paddock in urine and manure and speed breakdown by trampling residues to bring the straw in contact with the soil. The availability of carbon from crop residues is the primary driver of soil microbial activity, and this, in turn, will lead to release of other plant nutrients from the breakdown of microbes. So how much stubble can be retained? In southern New South Wales, research has shown the need to maintain at least 70% ground cover, or about 2 to 3 tonnes per hectare of cereal stubble cover over summer to minimise erosion and runoff. A 4-year experiment from 2009 to 2012 at Temora and Condobolin, part of the GRDC Water Use Efficiency Initiative, examined the impact of stubble retention on stored soil moisture and crop yields. The experiment demonstrated that provided summer weeds are controlled and 70% ground cover maintained, allowing sheep to graze stubble does not reduce subsequent grain yield. More extensive reading on grazing in stubble retained systems can be found on the FarmLink website www.farmlink.com.au in the Projects tab under the Maintaining Profitable Farming Systems with Retained Stubble section. A guideline titled Grazing Stubble has been published, along with a case study telling the stubble story of Temora farming family and FarmLink members, the Sinclairs.